Okay, we are live. Let
Cool.
me remember how to do this. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, MJ. Where is this where the pup party is? It is. It is. We were just right before we went live, we were making sure we had all the pups lined up here. Everybody brought their pups.
Yeah, Link was here, but he's not. He's not. He doesn't love cameras. So Olive seems to love cameras.
Yeah, well, she gets a little tired. She's not bashful, but she gets a little tired after a while, right? Right? Let's see who's. I gotta remember how to. I gotta remember how to do everything. So it looks like all right. So bad. Hi, bad. Bad's here, Olive.
Hi, man. Hi, MJ.
Um. Oh,
Ralph is stood in a really precarious position, so he's either going to fall off or he's going to walk off right behind me. I don't know what he's going to do, but we'll
all right.
find out in a minute.
So I'm already forgetting to hit the comments. So it's only our second time. So everybody be patient with me here.
Cool.
Um. All right. So this was from the Mild Rumpus. Couldn't make it. Wishing Olive a very happy birthday. MJ. Yes, this is the way the pup party at. Bad's here. Dia's here. Hi, Dia. Oreo and Chi Wee Wee are having puppy cupcakes too with you all. I did bring a piece of Olive's. So yesterday was her actual birthday. I did bring a little piece of her cake in case. And
That's
but we'll
awesome.
save that for a little bit later. Okay.
Shall I
um,
get you some cake?
Agent Ice. Hey, Lewis. That's one of my. I don't use the word real life because we're all real life friends. That's one of my um, hometown friends. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
That's
Awesome.
Lewis. Hello, Gareth. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Albert's here. Hey, Albert. Have you guys checked out Albert? So Albert just started a channel. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to check it out yet.
I have not. Let me write that name down.
Yeah, Albert's
Awesome.
Albert's been a long time been in the very supportive member of the community, but he just
Cool.
recently started his own channel. He's just got a couple videos up, and he's like a natural. His videos are pretty good. And I think Albert, I think it's mostly been nonfiction so far, right? Although he did review Fight Club, just reviewed Fight Club, so that was.
Ah, I
You
keep
guys
meaning
read
to
that?
read that. That's
What's
been on my
Olive's?
TBR. I mean, so often.
You what?
Fight Club has been on my TBR so often. I just keep moving it back and then reading something else. A bit. It's
Yeah.
like it's over there waiting for me to read.
Oh, what a good one.
I love the
I'm
film.
gonna try to keep up. You and I are both bad with this, Gareth, so I'm gonna try to keep up with these this time. What's Olive's favorite cake flavor? So she has vanilla because the dogs can't have chocolate. So um, she eats the vanilla cake and then with the vanilla frosting. So we try to keep it all vanilla. So we haven't tried anything else. I think she tried cream cheese frosting once, and she liked that as well, of course.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ronaldo. Hello, Albert. Everybody's saying hi. Poppy says happy birthday to Olive too. Poppy is Dia's pup. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dia's channel. Dia does like a lot of. Dia's pretty. Either you guys seen Dia's channel?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's like my regular buddy reader. Actually, we've been reading all the Tarzan books together. We actually read. A lot of our tastes are different, but she does read a ton of fantasy, and we were buddy reading. We've read like buddy read 4 Tarzan books together. It's just one we had in common. Now we're reading this. We're buddy reading this right at the moment. This for the holiday. This Mr. Dickens and his Carol. We just started this today,
Ah,
actually.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
am a big Charles Dickens fan, so I should probably read that.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's fictional account, but it's.
Right.
Do you know what this one's about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this one's. I forget when this came out. I think it's just a few years ago. This came out 2017. So, but it's like a story about like he's so I think this part is true that like when Dickens was younger or when earlier on in his career after his first couple books came out, then like he hit like a lull and he was having a difficult time with sales and they pushed him to do. His publishers pushed him to do the Christmas Carol, which I guess a lot of his Christmas stories are based on like these plates, like I don't know what some kind of like artistic, like I don't know if they were paintings, but I don't think they were paintings, but there's some kind of artistic plates, and they wanted like store. Sorry,
like decorative plates.
Yeah, and they wanted like
yeah.
stories to go along with them, and so they got him to do that. And that Christmas Carol is what I believe this whole part of the story is true, and that Christmas Carol is kind of like what rejuvenated his career and got it going again. And so this is like a fictional account of when that happens, and like he like meets his muse while he's like walking around London, and she inspires him to write Christmas Carol, I think. And so, I mean, it's not that far in, but it's pretty good. All right, it's falling behind already here. Let me see.
I've actually got out a graphic novel version of A Christmas Carol to read closer to Christmas, so I'm going to read that. So as part of the reread December thing, I thought one of the prompts is to read it something in different format. So I'm going to read the graphic novel version I've got, which I've never read. I've only read the normal version. So
yeah, I bought a really nice Christmas Carol last year. A really nice copy of the Christmas Carol last year, hardcover.
Okay,
really
nice.
Cool. We wanted one around the house because it's one of our favorite stories. I mean, you know, these days that's kind of the only paperbacks and hardcovers that I buy are stuff that I know I love. Everything else is just kind of on one of my two readers here. So
yeah. You're a big e-reader, Scott?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I have about 3,000 books, but we are actually offloading a whole lot of those. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were saying. All right, you got to warn me when that video is coming. I can't watch that one. It's like Gareth is like stressing me out when he was doing his the whole series of unhaul videos. It's like I was like getting physically agitated, you know. It's like start like shaking.
I'll send you a box.
Hey, I'll take it. All right, so MJ's giving props to Albert's channel. Do you take Olive on a special car ride? Any new squeaky toys? We did not go on a special car ride. She does go on car rides with me, actually. I think I've mentioned before. She's like with me. She's with me like all the time. I don't bring her to the office. But like if I have to go pick up my daughter or whatever, you know, she comes. She hops in the Jeep with me. We put a blankie in there and she sits in the seat. And but we didn't go on any yesterday. But she did get a new squeaky toy, right? You got a new like a little. She loves those smaller little flat like pull animal. It's like a little raccoon where she can grab on the tail easy and pull it. So that's her. I don't know. You guys, your pups have any favorite toys?
Well, Link, he doesn't play with toys as much as he used to, but Albert, he has a toy box over here to my right. It's got about 30 toys in it normally, and right now it's got about 6 in there. So no, he doesn't have a favorite. As long as it's a toy, they're all over the office. Yeah.
What about Ralph?
Ralph and Chico like Bones, really. If I get them a squeaky toy, they get all excited about the squeak, but they don't really do anything with it. They just sort of look at it. So yeah, they're not really into squeaky toys, but they love Bones. We gave them some Bones recently. Actually, I loved it. But yeah, Chico is over there asleep, so I can just see his head coming out of his bed. So yeah, Ralph tends to sit here. Chico likes his bed.
So you have 2 dogs, Gareth?
Got 2 dogs. Yeah. We had their mum. Jody. So it was quite a magical night. I don't know if you guys have ever witnessed it, but when their mum gave birth to the litter, it was amazing. You know, she did it all herself, and almost all herself. Chico was breech, so Ali helped Jody out with that one. But it went from like about 1 o'clock in the morning till about 5 o'clock in the morning, and she had 5. And it was so cool.
Cool.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And obviously the house was chaos for a few weeks while we had these puppies.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's amazing what you know, in nature they don't we all need help, right? But they don't need any help.
Yeah.
Olive deserves
Albert is actually Link's like great great grandson or something, or no, great great nephew or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, something like that. Link's 13, and Albert is not even a year old yet. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
that's cool.
Yeah, Olive's mom lives right down the street. Actually, that was a planned birth and adoption. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Olive deserves a pup cup. Yeah, I think she had enough treats yesterday. She had a ridiculous day yesterday. I'm digging the holiday jumper. MJ loves your jumper.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars one today. So I've been wearing so some of the videos I've done recently, I've had a Gremlins one on, although you can only see the top anyway. But I've had that blue one I've had on is a Gremlins one. But yeah, I put on the Star Wars one today. I'll be wearing my Snoopy one next week.
Gotta sit up a little bit so we can get a good view of it there. This is my. Oh, it's Vader.
It's Vader. Underneath it says, "This is my," and then the bottom bit says "Jolly Face." This is my jolly face.
That's great. I think I need one of those.
The only one I have is not it's not suitable for YouTube.
Oh no.
No, it says something kind of well, yeah, kind of dirty, I guess.
Oh, I don't have any good ones. Well, I do have an Avengers one, but it's not Christmas Avengers one, but that's not that nice. I do have a very elaborate Snoopy one that I actually inherited from my dad. Maybe I should wear that for the next live stream.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Pup cup, yes.
I'm gonna break out the cider.
Yeah, definitely. Crystal's
So
here.
happy
Hey, y'all.
birthday,
Hey,
Olive.
Crystal. Happy birthday to sweet Olive. Happy birthday, Olive. Here, get you a little treat. We got to keep you. We got to keep you awake, man. This is your
This is all I have
celebration.
on my desk. Just some bourbon.
I was just telling Gareth offline. My little secret is I keep everything in my superhero cup, so nobody ever knows what I have here. Could be iced tea. You never know.
Could be a fine cognac.
Everybody's saying hi. Hi, Dave, Gareth, and Scott. A big happy birthday to Olive.
Hello.
Thank you. Right? Thank you. Why don't you sit up so everybody can see you? You're the star of the show, man. You're the star of the show. She's gonna Peter. She's not gonna last. She's gonna Peter real quick.
Oh.
Everybody's saying hi. What's your Christmas sweater today, Garrett? Okay, we just covered that. I gotta catch up. Poppy loves apple cake and blueberry. We freeze it, and it takes her a bit longer to eat it. I'll have to try those. I just recently started feeding. I'm looking for healthier snacks for Olive, so I just recently started trying her on different fruits. Because I'm always so nervous about what's okay for a dog and not. But a lot of these things. So we've tried her on banana, blueberries, apples. I mean, she can eat all these things, and she likes them all.
As long as it's not grapes.
Yeah, the grapes are bad. That's right. It's good you mentioned that. Yeah, the grapes are bad.
My two love apples. If I have an apple, they get well excited about having the core afterwards. So if they notice I'm having an apple, I'll go, oh, I better have two. So I'll have two apples so I can give them both the core. So yeah, they love apples.
That's delicious apple cake. Yeah. She had apples as part of her birthday dinner, right? Her birthday dinner. She had a ridiculous. I don't normally feed her like this. We try to be fairly healthy, but yesterday we went a little berserk. So for her birthday breakfast, she had a little sliced up pork roll. What do you call that in the UK? Pork roll, Taylor ham. What do you guys call it?
Is that like a sausage roll? Is it?
Sausage? I don't think it's like your sausage roll. No, it's like it's really almost like Canadian. Some people call it Canadian bacon. It's like
well, we have bacon roll.
I'll have to show you a picture. It's
if it's a roll, if it's it's just bacon in a roll. We have bacon rolls. Is it that?
Maybe that's what you guys call it.
I mean, that's quite common for breakfast and that.
Like,
bacon and egg rolls.
Like a little round sort of. It's really more like a ham sort of thing. Really thin.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you a picture. But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she had a little bit of that,
that.
a little bit of egg, right? You had pork roll and egg for breakfast, and then for dinner she had a little bit of very cheap steak and a little cheese and a little bit of apples, right? She was living high on the hog yesterday. Oh,
Sport rotten.
Brian's here. Hey, Brian. Happy birthday to Olive. Nim's here. Hi, Nim.
Hi, Nim.
Oreo loves squeaky toys. Oreo is your pup, Ben? I got to catch up so I can see the answer. Hi, Nim. Hi, Bad. Everybody saying hi. Nim, you have a beautiful dog. Yep. Poppy has those flatso animals. She has a wolf currently. Her ball is her favorite. Yeah, I think because it's easy for them to play tug of war. My two pups, she has a sister, a cockapoo, Riley, and they play tug of war all the time with those kind of toys. I don't know if do you guys dogs, they pretty good at playing with each other like that?
They kind of chase each other around, but they're just like really. The both of them are really weird with toys. They just sort of ignore them. I've had loads of dogs over the years.
Yeah.
And my first dog, she used to love playing with rubber rings. She used to love rubber rings, and we used to sort of tug on it and all that. I used to love it, and I was a kid then. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, these two, they're really weird with toys. I'll just get the one I've just bought them. Hold on, just put that there. Don't want to spill the cider.
You got your two play together well, Scott?
Well, Albert, who is
that's
yeah, I bought this, but they're totally ignoring me. Look.
Yeah, Albert, who is 21 pounds, likes to play tug of war with my mother and father-in-law's 90-pound dog.
Mm.
And but it's funny because the dog lets Albert win.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hilarious.
Let's catch up here. MJing, laughing at your sweater. Not suitable for YouTube. Now that's a curious.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have to break it out someday, Scott.
I will, and I'll just put duct tape over the offended.
Bourbon cake. That does sound delicious. No, Olive needs a throne chair, Dave. She does. Yeah. I need a new set. Her old setup, I had to throw it out, and it's hard to see her on this one. I need to figure out something else, but it's get her up higher. Queen Olive. Blueberries and apples or Watson's jam. Yeah. The blueberries are really good for them, I was reading.
Yeah, they are.
Do you ever make Olive cookies? I know there's neat recipes for dogs. No, we never make her cookies. She has nighttime seems to be their treat time because they're really smart and they manipulate us with like going out to the bathroom in the evening so that they keep doing, and they'll take turns. They're way too manipulative about it. They'll take turns, but we want to keep, we don't want accidents in the house. So we want to keep encouraging it. So we keep doing it, but they'll specifically only go one at a time. The other one will wait and one will go out and then they'll come back in. So then they both get a little treat. And then the other one will go right after that. They clearly save it, but yeah, we found these at Trader Joe's this Halloween season. We found these like pumpkin cookies there that were meant for dogs, and they were obsessed with those things.
Yeah, my mother-in-law made some pumpkin cookies with leftover pumpkin for the dogs at Thanksgiving, and they loved them.
Yeah. There's not much that this one doesn't like. Our other one is kind of finicky, but this one, Olive likes almost everything. I mean, she wouldn't eat, when I was experimenting with healthy snacks, she wouldn't eat carrots. I tried to give her baby carrots. That she wouldn't take, but that's one of the few things she doesn't. Shrimp. She doesn't like shrimp. I don't know why, but yeah. Those are the only two things that I've seen her like spit out. Sorry?
She's like, what the hell is this? When you give her shrimp.
Nim wants Bad's bourbon cake recipe. That does sound good. I might need that recipe too. I'm going to send all birthday hearts on the screen. It's Canadian bacon here, but the Taylor ham verbiage is making its way from New Jersey, I think. Okay, so I'm originally from the state of New Jersey, so that's probably why I call it Taylor ham. But okay, that
I
makes
don't
sense.
even know if they sell Canadian bacon in Canada.
Is that a myth?
they probably do, but they call it something completely different, right?
Probably like ham or something, because that's pretty well what it is. It's like
Yeah,
a round piece of ham.
yeah. You're right. Here they just call. They're in Canada, right? So why would they call it Canadian anything? They just call it ham.
Well, a lot of our bacon's Danish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do produce our own bacon, but there is a lot of Danish bacon.
Okay. So you have to import a lot of pork to the UK?
Well, I don't know if we have to, but that's part of the industry. Do you know what I mean? There's definitely a British pork industry, but
Okay.
but yeah, we definitely have a lot of Danish bacon.
Okay. Oh, Mountain Girl. Hi, how are you? Happy B-Day, Olive. How old does Olive admit to being? Olive just turned 4. So she was a COVID, but we didn't get her because of COVID. We got her right before COVID, and then COVID hit. So that probably explains some of her behaviors. So we literally got her like a few weeks before lockdown. We had to take her a little early. We weren't even supposed to have her yet. We had probably told this story, but we had to take her early because her dog mom kind of kicked her out. She couldn't take her anymore because it's frustrating because I always talk about how crazy. She always like does this whenever we're on screen. She always acts all tired. She's a nut job. Most of the time she's a nut job. She's crazy.
They'll never perform when you want them to. You know,
right?
They'll be completely different in company.
That's right. Hey, come here. You got to perk up. Come on. This is your show, man. I'm going to put another one here. All right. You're gonna have to come get it.
Talking of dog food, we had an interesting thing with Ralph because he was losing a lot of weight, and I was worried. I said to my wife, "Can we take him to the vet? Because I know there's no real reason. He looks fine, but because he's lost weight and he just looks really old, can we just give him a checkup?" And she's like, "Really? You know, that's surely just throw money away." I was like, "No, can we just take him? Because just to make me feel better."
Right.
So we took him to the vet, and they said he needed 12 teeth removed.
Wow.
Okay.
So he got 12 teeth removed, and we've had to change what he eats because he couldn't eat the hard food we used to give him. That was kind of biscuity food, and he has to have softer food. And he likes it more. And he's been and also we realised that his brother was nicking his food as well. So basically, he's put on a lot of weight because we've sorted a few things out like that. So that's quite cool.
Yeah.
So he looks a lot more healthy.
That's like so sad because stuff like that they can't tell you and you can't always see it. And I mean, Riley had 12. That's a lot. I mean, Riley had one bad tooth that we didn't know about, and she wasn't eating. This was just this one tooth because it must make them so uncomfortable. I mean, how do we feel with a toothache, right?
Yeah.
It must make them so uncomfortable. We pulled that tooth, and she was like a totally different. She was playing more, she was eating more. It was the change was definitely very noticeable,
Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. They can't tell you, can they? So luckily, it was something as simple as that. But he was looking really old. I mean, they are old, but because they're both 15, so they are old.
15.
Yeah, but when they run around in the park, they people think they're puppies because they've got their bounding with energy, and they're little dogs, so people think they're puppies.
All right, let me get through some of these. Nims, there's some really cool recipes. So I guess Bad's got a lot of recipes she can share. Jeff just popping in to say hi. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for coming by. Oreo is my pup. She's about 3. Aw, what kind of pup, Bad? It'll be 15 minutes before I get to the answer to that question, but I'm going to try to let us know what kind of pup.
Send an email.
I don't remember if I've seen Oreo in your videos, Bad. I probably haven't, just don't remember.
I think she did.
I've actually been working through some of Bad's videos, but I haven't seen Puppy yet.
I think I've seen Oreo in one of them. but I can't remember
That-
what kind of dog she is.
Dad's got a lot of very cool videos. She does like really good job with the editing and some of this stuff is pretty funny and some of it's pretty creepy actually. She has some
Yeah,
creepy
something that's really
stuff too.
creepy. Yeah.
But,
And really like.
She has I guess different ones resonate with different people better. But I still remember one she did this was a while ago where like the cops were coming for her. She had like committed a murder and the cops, so you could hear them, you could hear the sirens. It was so good. It was like a really like professionally done thing.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oreo's barking, Gareth. She's barking at you.
Oh, that was because I was squeaking a toy, probably.
Oh, because you were squeaking right. Aren't those the best toys? Those squeaky toys drive me crazy. And those are the toys I always want to play with, right? When it's at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna make dinner. Okay, bye, Dia. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah. Albert, he sleeps in a crate, so there have been times that we've been awakened at like 3 a.m. when he wakes up, and we realize he took a toy with him into his crate.
Oh boy. What happens if I push the heart? Is that like an emoji thing?
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know what you're talking about, Nim. Sorry. I wouldn't know the answer anyway. This is only my second time.
Yeah.
Push the heart. Oh, Bats.
Push the heart?
On the rail. Yes. Okay. I have a star there.
I think you're supposed to see it when a heart comes up. I think it's kind of like a thumbs up kind of thing, isn't it?
Uh,
I'm just gonna push it. Oh, I missed this whole heart thing. I don't know. Did you guys see the heart?
You know, there's a thing, if you get enough subscribers and you do a thumbs up, that thumbs up come up on the screen. If you get enough subscribers and you do a thumbs up, well, then YouTube puts about 50 thumbs up on the screen at one time. Very cool.
I'm so delinquent with this stuff. I don't know anything. I'm always like DMing MJ about like how to do stuff. It's like tech support because I don't even read. I keep meaning to, but I don't even read those. You know, we get those weekly bulletins for content creators.
Yeah.
And I don't even read those. I keep meaning to.
No,
I know I should.
I don't read them. I don't really look at my stats very often either. But I know MJ's like really hot on that sort of thing.
Yeah, MJ's really good about it. She knows everything about that stuff. I think in Canada they call it back bacon.
Oh, we've got back bacon.
And what does it look like? What does back bacon look like there?
Well, it's just a strip of bacon.
Oh, that's not the same thing. Like it's like a long strip.
Yeah.
Oh.
It may be more like American bacon, then I wonder.
And we can have smoky bacon and normal bacon.
Yeah, that sounds more like what we just call bacon. They're still talking about the heart. Oh, bad. PG here.
Fish it
Oh,
real
wow.
good.
Oh, wow. It was getting a little crazy in the comments without us, guys. We are never serious. All of this is for you.
That's a good question, though. What kind of music do you like, Dave?
Music?
Yeah.
Probably music that's I think pretty uncharacteristic for my age. Like when I was basically most of what I listened to is I listened to a lot of I guess I shouldn't say trance. I guess that was more years ago, but I listened to more like a lot of like vocal trance stuff. That's what I listen to all day at work. I just like put that on YouTube and I listen to that all day in the office. So I guess it's a little more toned down from like bona fide trance music, but like, you know, artists that I like are like DJ Tiesto and Martin Van Buren and guys like that. That's the kind of stuff I like. I liked that when I was in my 20s, and I've I've always liked it. It's never it's always been my favorite kind of music. I mean, I do, although I have to tell you, I can tell you guys about this. On the day after Thanksgiving, and it's only because somebody else like convinced us to go. We have this small theater right here in our town. And there's this group every year, the day after Thanksgiving, there's this group that comes called Mullet. Have you ever heard of them, Scott?
What are they?
I'm sure Gareth's never heard of them, but their name is Mullet. They're a cover band.
No, I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they're actually local in Connecticut, but they tour about like half the country. But they're from Connecticut. They're not far from me, and so this is like their special show that every the Friday after Thanksgiving. So for anybody not in the U.S. that may be watching, if you don't know, like the third Thursday of every November is our Thanksgiving, and then everybody has off the next day, Friday. So they do this show every year on that Friday, and they're covering. They're called Mullet because they're covering all the quote unquote hair bands from the '80s. So they do in the hits from Def Leppard, Poison, Whitesnake, Journey, Bon Jovi, all these bands that like I loved right back in the '80s when I was young.
Yeah. So I love that stuff as well.
And what a great! It was like such a great concert. They had like these guys were pretty good. I mean, they're not like these. They're not spring chickens. These guys, and they're not like, they're like, I mean, you got to give them a credit. Like they're trying to do like their lead guitarist, like he's trying to do, I mean, he's not like those guitarists were, but he's trying to do Angus Young and Slash and CC DeVille. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to do like all of these guys, big hits, and I thought he did a pretty amazing job. And it was great. It was like so neat because next to on each side of the stage, they had up a screen where they would show the footage from the original like concert music video of the band. So it just made it just a little bit even more nostalgic, because you're watching these guys play it live, but you're watching the original band perform on the screen there. And it was really cool. We had a lot of fun. And it was like, you would know, like, you would know like every, I don't know, Gareth, how much you're up on, like American '80s music.
Oh no! I was way into all those bands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You would know like you would know then like every song that they played. It was like all the big hits.
No, I would know those songs. Absolutely know those songs.
Yeah.
I was going to quickly say that my students at the moment are doing some of my first years are doing Dance With Myself from Generation X and Billy Idol, right? Dance With Myself, and it's such a great song.
That's a classic.
And like they start the lesson, they go, "Can we go through Dancing With Myself?" I just want to go through it. Goes, yeah, of course you can, because it's awesome and whack it up really loud, so the art department can hear it on the other side of the building. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so it's nice. I love it when they do kind of new wave stuff because that's my favorite, really. So yeah, awesome.
You got to do that other one with them, Moni Moni.
Yeah.
Where everybody would like,
good, yeah.
Everybody
I suggested
would, like,
that
scream the alternate version in the bars.
Yeah.
The dirty version of it. I don't know if they did that in the UK. Here there was a dirty version that everybody would always scream in the bars.
What's funny about my music taste? Like I was kind of raised. I mean, I've told people this before. I was kind of raised in a cult, so we weren't allowed to listen to that kind of music. And so the older I get, the farther back my music taste goes. Like I was allowed to have my own taste in music starting at about 19 years old. So that was in the 90s. So I started, my first music love was grunge, and I've kind of, I still love it, but I've kind of got to where I've actually gone back farther into like the new wave of British heavy metal, from the 70s and early 80s. I love that stuff.
Iron Maiden.
Yep. Oh yeah. Prog metal and prog rock. I love prog rock. Like going back to the early Genesis stuff and Gentle Giant and some of that stuff. Man, I just love it. The Alan Parsons Project. that I've actually been listening to more of that than metal these days. But yeah, that's kind of how it's gone for me. I've gotten the older I get, the farther back I go with my musical taste. But I think I'm stopping in the 70s.
Hmm.
I think that's kind of where that's kind of where my tastes start. Is in the
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. I love all that stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like much old music. Like I was never like into the Beatles or anything like that. Probably the oldest music that I enjoyed is like the older AC/DC stuff.
Oh, I love that
Um,
stuff. Yeah.
that's probably like the only what I would call older stuff. That's about as far back as, you know. And I don't like a lot of metal, but I do like them. I don't know how you can not like them, but
Well, the early Bon Scott stuff sounds like tavern rock, bar rock and stuff like that. It's completely different than the stuff they did later.
mhm.
Right.
So when you first like had the freedom to start listening to music and stuff, that was like Nirvana and those kind of guys
Yeah,
that you were listening to at the time?
Nirvana, I would say, was probably one of the first bands I ever loved. Nirvana, then Soundgarden, and
Yeah.
some of those bands like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't listen to that as much as I used to. I still love it. I mean, I think there were some amazing musicians
Yeah.
back then. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I explore different areas of music depending on my mood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
See, I love all that stuff, but I really love rock and roll and doo wop as well. So I do listen to a lot of 50s rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, that's your
and then-
business, right? So you probably have to love
Yeah,
it all, right?
yeah, I listen to a lot of everything. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because also I discover a lot of stuff through the students as well, and my son is always showing me stuff. There's a really interesting band that's just come out that's like a super group. So they're all people that are well known by themselves, although really, really new artists. So I didn't know. I only knew one of the names, but there's 4 people, and they've done this album called The Fizz, and it's really good. It's really, really good. It sounds kind of like a 2023 take on the attitude that Brian Wilson had. It's got a little bit of a Beach Boys kind of feel, but it's really clever, and it gets really heavy at times. But it's really interesting. Yeah, the album's called The Fizz, or the band's called The Fizz, and it's just like a one-off album. So that was really cool. So my son showed me that. He said, "Dad, you got to listen to this. You'll love it," and it's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Hey, Gareth, do you know Brian or Stephen Wilson? You ever listen to
Stephen Wilson?
Stephen Wilson, yeah, he's a British prog guy who's constantly remixing like the older prog rock albums and stuff, and he even has a band. I cannot remember what they're called, but then he does some solo stuff as well. Yeah, Wilson, awesome. Yeah,
I'll look him up because I love prog. I'm a big King Crimson fan.
Oh, you would love Stephen Wilson stuff then. He may have actually even remixed a King Crimson album or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I started a Facebook group that I immediately ignored afterwards, but I started a Facebook group which was called Adrian Belew is the most underrated guitarist in the world. And there was loads of members joined, and I've just completely ignored it. That was about 15 years ago. But Adrian Belew is an incredible guitarist. He joined Crimson in 1980, but he worked with Talking Heads and David Bowie and Paul Simon, Pete Gabriel, all sorts of different people. And he did loads of solo stuff. And actually, I don't know if you guys would know this band because they never went out of Cincinnati, but there's a band called The Bears, and The Bears is Adrian Belew and 3 other guys. And because Adrian Belew was busy with Crimson, the other 3 formed the Psycho Dots. So I don't know if you heard of the Psycho Dots. But they're a brilliant band. And sadly, the drummer's just died. His funeral was a couple of days ago. So that was really sad. But they never left Cincinnati, so I thought I'd never see them. But they're one of my favorite bands.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me try to get through a few of these. I think this is where we left off. So I see all this is a Diva Star. You a Diva Star? Bacon sounds good right now.
Bacon never doesn't sound good.
Right?
Yeah, I want to get some bacon now, but it's nearly 2:00 at night. So
You know when it's not. You know when it's not good, Scott.
Or nearly 1 o'clock.
I had one time. I had a trial in Philadelphia, and we were walking just late at night. One night we were walking back from our war room or whatever, and two of us walked by the shop where we saw. It wasn't that late because the shop was open, but there was. We looked in the window and they had chocolate covered bacon, and we're like, "Oh my god, how can that not be delicious? This is chocolate and bacon." It was awful. Chocolate and bacon do not go together.
No, I don't think that would go myself. I would go, huh? Yeah. What?
We thought it sounded great, but it was awful.
We didn't do it last time, but when my son comes down, when he gigs with us, or when he gigs with me, he always comes down for a couple of days, and he's due to come back on the 15th. We got a gig together on the 15th, and he lives in Brighton, so it's like a special thing. He comes down to play, and we always get bacon because he likes making bacon and egg sandwiches in the morning. So I would definitely be having bacon on the morning of the 15th. He'll make some bacon and egg sandwiches.
I want you to send me a picture of it so that we can see exactly what you're talking about. I have to chat love to Olive. All right, you're probably already gone now, but thanks, MJ. Blue Healer mix. Oh, thank you, everyone.
Oh, Blue Healers are awesome.
What is that?
I had a Blue Healer mix. It's also known, I believe it's an Australian cattle dog. They're a breeding breed, and they're kind of gray, really cool gray color.
Okay.
Yeah, they're known for being a little bit hard to train, but when they're trained, they're freaking brilliant.
All
yeah,
right.
cool dogs.
Well, bad. This pup needs to be in the videos more. Come on.
Yeah.
Haha, I freaked out myself. Oh yeah, her cop video. She's responding to. I'm really far behind. Day for bed. No, that was a good video. The cop video. Thanks. Thank you, Leslie. Oh, hi, Leslie. Thanks for coming by.
Wow.
Hello.
I'm always bothering Greg for everything. I love.
Yeah, that was about the tech support, probably.
Oh yeah, right. That's probably about the tech support. I love.
Yeah, I used to buy that pre-cooked at the grocery store. It was heavy peppered bacon. I moved to Arkansas with a friend of mine once, and we had no money, so we'd go to the store and buy these round pieces of bacon that were just covered in pepper, and we could afford that and make sandwiches out of it for about a week, and we lived on it.
That would be your staple for a week straight.
Tell you what, I put pepper on everything, but I've never put on bacon. So next time I have bacon, I'm going to put pepper on it. And
yeah, you know what? Same here. Right. I'm going to try.
I put on everything. Time. When I have chips, I always put salt and pepper on my chips. I don't put salt and vinegar on my chips. Whereas it's obviously a British tradition to put salt and vinegar on your chips, but I always put salt and pepper.
Do you just not like the vinegar?
I do have it sometimes, but my favorite is salt and pepper on them.
Okay.
So when you're saying chips, I think he means our French fries, right, yes. Scott?
Well, yeah, but they don't look exactly. They're a lot more like they have more substance than French fries.
They're closer to our steak fries, what we would call steak fries.
Yeah, they're more like steak fries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you over a bag of chips. All right, Dave. I'll mail over some chips, and you'll be like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh God, got that song jamming. You have the voice and instruments, Garrett. Salt and pepper vibe. Have to get going. Okay, thanks, Nim. Thanks for coming by.
No, nice seeing him. Although he's not here now.
Def Leppard, yes, Def Leppard. That song, "Pour Some Sugar," that never gets old. That song. It's still on my iPhone.
Yeah, that takes me back to going out with my mate Dave and like Bon Jovi. And that takes me back to like playing football on the seafront because we got this sort of touristy bit down the road called Canoe Lake, and it's like a little lake with swans on it, and it's right next to the beach. And we used to go there and play football, and we used to have our ghetto blasters as posts, and the ghetto blasters used to play Bon Jovi as we played football, and we play White Snake and Cinderella and
Yeah.
all sorts of bands like that. Yeah.
Yeah, White Snake. Yeah, they did White Snake at this Mullet concert.
Yeah.
With
David,
Motley
the,
Crue, they do Motley Crue as well.
the classic video with Tony Katane like rolling all over the car with a Corvette
Yeah.
or whatever that was. Or...
Here I Go Again. Was it Here I Go Again? Did they do that one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, all like the
David
classic
Coverdale's
hits.
voice is ridiculous. It's so good.
David
Yeah.
Coverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead singer of Whitesnake. The guy's got an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Well, he sang for Deep Purple for a while as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. After Ian, was it Ian Gillan? Yeah, it was after
Yeah.
Ian Gillan left. Yeah.
Wait, he sang
Yeah.
for who? Who else?
Deep Purple.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
But
didn't know that.
David Coverdale, I mean, he had a great voice, but he stole a lot of his style and kind of persona and kind of physical image and all that from Paul Rogers, from Free. And I love Paul Rogers. And he recently got his voice back because he got ill, Paul Rogers. And there was a bit of like a thing on the news that he was back in business again. I'd love to see Paul Rogers because Free have always been one of my favorite bands. So yeah. And Bad Company did that band as well.
Cool.
Yeah. You guys know Free? You must know Free. You know Free?
Free.
Yeah, like
No.
All Right Now and Mr. Big and Fire and
yeah,
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Ian Gillan actually played with Black Sabbath for a little while too. And
Huh.
Yeah.
and that's when David Coverdale took over. It was when he left for Black Sabbath. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Dio sang with Black Sabbath as well.
He
I love
did.
Dio's voice.
His Black Sabbath stuff is amazing too. Dio's Black Sabbath stuff. You know, you were talking about doo-wop earlier. Actually, Ronnie James Dio sang doo-wop before he ever went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good. I mean, the guy could probably sing anything he wanted. He had a huge voice, just
Yeah.
perfect.
Amazing. He's only like 2 feet tall, wasn't he? But he had an amazing voice.
Yeah. I think literally he was like 5'2", something like that. He wore these huge heels when he went on stage to not look so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's the question. Icebreaker question: Judas Priest or Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden for me.
Iron Maiden for me. It's a regret that I still haven't seen them live, and I really want to. And they'll probably only do one more tour now, won't they? But I really wish I'd seen them. But yeah,
I think they're touring now. I would love to see them live, but I'll probably never get to. But I would love to see them live.
They've announced they're doing something next year, but it's well expensive to see them now. But I've got a lot of, and Bruce Dickinson can still sing those songs, but one day you won't be able to.
Yeah, I wonder how they sound now because
they actually sound pretty good. I think. I mean, the band sounds as well as they ever did. Bruce Dickinson, he's still got a great voice, but it's more seasoned. You know, a little. Yeah. I'd say a little more mellow and a little lower, but still a great voice.
Yeah.
There's a great video on YouTube of him going through what he does backstage for the gigs. Check it out. It's like just says something like Bruce Dickinson talks through an Iron Maiden set or something like that. And it's really interesting because obviously he's coming on and off all the time and changing costume all the time and putting on a flamethrower and all sorts. So it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good video.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Bad Things Pour Some Sugar on Me is a great song. AC/DC was awesome beginning of that movie Battleship or that fight scene. I didn't see that. You guys see that?
I haven't seen Battleship.
No.
I haven't.
The only film that Stephen King directed, Maximum Overdrive, he kind of did it as an excuse to put AC/DC all over the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Stephen King's a massive AC/DC fan, isn't he?
Not exactly a masterpiece, Maximum.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's got great songs in it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
They wrote Who Made Who for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a great song. It's one of the best, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was original for that movie, if I recall.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they wrote Who Made Who for the film. Yeah.
And that,
and it's like Chase the Ace. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, no, Who Made Who is one of my favorites. That's I had no idea what it was about. I think back when I liked it in my 20s, but yeah, this That's a good one.
It is, yeah.
All right, let's see. Jeff Love, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, November Rain. Yeah. So
Great song.
at that concert, that Mullet concert we just went to, the guy, the lead guitarist, did Slash's solo from Sweet Child of Mine, and it was really good. It sounded just like Slash. I'm sure it wasn't if you put them side by side, but to me, it sounded almost the same.
I have trouble listening to Guns N' Roses because I know what Axl Rose was doing to his voice the whole time that he was singing. I mean, he was tearing his voice to shreds.
Yeah.
And it was just not a healthy way to sing. And to me, it sounds painful. And and I know, and it really was. It was painful for him. Like his voice is pretty well gone now.
Yeah. But he was still going. Again, if I'm remembering correctly, he took over when Brian Johnson had to bow out.
Yeah.
For a while. AC/DC, Axl took over for a while, right?
That was quite controversial though, because when he did that, Axl Rose wasn't that popular. So obviously he was really popular when Guns N' Roses started, and obviously they've done some great stuff. But by the time that happened, a lot of AC/DC fans were like, "What?" Because his voice suits it, but he was not a popular guy. So it was quite a controversial decision.
Yeah, he's never been a. There were a couple of years there he was, pretty popular as a musician, but then people found out what kind of person he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of, I mean, he's probably one of the most hated singers from the 80s, I would think now, the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, because he's just not a good person. He's a terrible human being. So
he is a dick, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right.
There's in over here we'd say he's a knobhead. That's what we'd say. He's a knobhead.
There's somebody in the back there, Gareth.
Yeah, that's Rosie. You over it?
Bon Scott was such a poet. Let's see, Brian. Hey, Brian.
Gareth, I think I've heard a bell end as well. Is that right?
A bell end. Yeah, he's a bell end. Yeah.
No, I
but I don't know if you know the reference, but a bell end is the same as a knobhead. They're the same thing.
Seems like a lot of our local bands call their style trash can Americana. It just sounds like folk or bluegrass to me, but I'm no music expert.
Trash can Americana. Maybe that's like a.
What say you, music expert?
But it sounds like it's like a rough and ready kind of bluegrass. Maybe it's not too slick and like deliberately loose. Maybe if it's kind of trash can Americana, or maybe the trash can thing. Maybe it's what heavier. I don't know. I'd have to hear his local bands to know what he means. Brian, send me a video.
All right, let's
Americana is massive over here.
What about Joan Jett? Yeah.
Yeah. I always try and get my students to do Cherry Bomb because it's such a great song for them to do. And some get behind it and they want to do it, but it's a great song.
Jet's a legend. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And too, I saw Joan Jett in concert once. I love her. Yeah.
You know who I'd love to see in concert is Ann Wilson. Just anything that Ann does. Man, what a voice.
Yeah, she's done a lot of touring, isn't she? So you might get a chance to see her.
Yeah, maybe. She has a new album out with a new band. So
yeah.
Ann Wilson. That's not from
She's
Heart.
From Heart.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is her sister still around, or?
Yeah, they're still around. They're still friends. I think they're not doing separate things at the minute, but they haven't fallen out or anything.
Okay.
They do separate things.
But Heart, right?
Sorry?
Doesn't her sister play guitar?
Yeah, Nancy. Yeah.
She's very good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to like some of their stuff when I was younger. Not their really old stuff, but like when they were doing like what were those, like Sweet Dreams and Nothing at All and those songs. Um, so they're done now though, right? So they don't that band is done. Heart.
I don't think they did new stuff, but I think they did go out on tour a little while ago. They kind of
Okay.
reformed for a minute, I think.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't even
I
know who it
talk about
was
them a
because they
lot
had
in
such
my
like a
course,
fluid.
actually.
Sorry.
I mention them a fair bit in the course because they're relevant to a few different things. So when I
Okay.
go over, because I do a lot of, there's some of my lessons have got a bit of a school of rock element to it, where I'm going through like a timeline on the board and all that sort of stuff, talking about how the genres work and that. So it's quite funny when I watch that film and I think, well, I am a qualified teacher, which Jack Black isn't, but there's still a lot of similarities in School of Rock. So I do that kind of thing, and I always talk about Heart because it's quite nice to talk about a band led by two women. That's a
Yeah.
rock band, because there's not a lot of women in rock in that time anyway. So I do talk about that, but also when we talk about MTV in the video age, they faced a lot of sexism with Ann Wilson gaining a lot of weight, and if you look at the videos, like especially the video to Alone, they don't show her with full body, except from a mile away, because they were sort of criticizing her for gaining weight. So it's kind of really interesting to see that sort of thing. And the videos, all like Nancy's in it all the time because she's skinny.
Right.
And she's, you know, and really you wouldn't normally get a video where the guitarist dominates it. It'll be the singer all the time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like an
Right.
interesting thing for students to think about.
And yet
You know.
people love the Meatloaf. I mean, look at that guy.
Well, yeah, but that's because he's a bloke. It doesn't matter if he's a bloke, does it?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's unfortunately true.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm jealous you're so lucky, wonderfully yours. Oh, for seeing Joan Jett.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the pre-made. We're still on the bacon. The pre-made.
Pre-made bacon.
I love Bon Jovi. I wish.
Yeah, his voice is gone. His voice is terrible now.
Is it?
Yeah,
I haven't heard him for a while.
Go find some videos of it because it's horrific, and you kind of feel sorry for him because I don't blame, because I'm a singer myself. I don't blame people for keep wanting to play because obviously it's their happy place. So I get why they want to keep doing it, but his voice is gone. So you're ripping off your fans by carrying on when you know you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can kind of tell the people who were singing in a healthy way, you know, versus singing in a way that was just tearing their voice up. You know, these days you just can't do it anymore. And but then you have people like Ronnie James Dio, and you know, who did it until he died. I mean, he still sounded great. Bruce Dickinson still sounds great.
Yeah, Rob Halford can still sing, can't he, from Judas Priest?
Rob Halford still sounds great. Yeah, sure can.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're coming out with a new album. So.
Yeah, I think another one sang like that was Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh, amazing voice.
Sounds awful now. But now sounds awful.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Steven, I haven't heard him. He messed up his vocal cords bad. Like
he actually got an illness, didn't he? Didn't he just get ill? Like his voice suffered from an illness for a bit, didn't it? I don't know if he
Oh, is that right?
I think so.
Becky was just saying he also fractured his larynx.
Yeah, I think I don't think that was self-imposed. I think he did go through a fair bit. Because that's also true with Steve Stills. Steven Stills can't sing anymore, and he went through an operation on his throat and all sorts. So, Steve Stills had one of the best voices in music, I think.
Oh yeah.
But he can't sing anymore, bless him. You know.
Wow.
But David Crosby could still sing right up until he died. You know.
Yeah.
His voice was amazing.
Paul Rodgers tour for Queen in the 90s.
Yes. Yeah, so he was the first replacement. So yeah, Paul Rodgers, and they called it Paul Rodgers and Queen, and they did Queen stuff and Free stuff and Bad Company stuff.
Cool.
And again, I should have. It's one of my regrets with gigging. There's a couple, and one of them is that they did come over, and we looked into it, and we didn't have much money, and I was like, no, can't justify it. so I didn't go, and I should have gone. I should have gone. I should have found the money somewhere.
And
I should have.
It was Brian May and all of them.
Yeah. It was well, it would have been Brian and Roger. So John Deacon retired after Freddie died.
Yeah.
But it was the other two and Paul Rogers, and I would have loved that. I would have absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I've seen Roger Taylor live a few times, but I've never seen Brian, and I'm a huge Brian May fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get that.
The Roger Taylor gig I went to was the loudest gig I've ever been to. It was painful. It was so loud. It was painful. And that was Roger Taylor. It was a solo gig.
Better
Yeah,
Roses. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Leslie, Maximum Overdrive is so bad it's good. Knobheads, that's a fantasy football game name right here.
Yeah, I might even think about that.
Oh yeah, Rosie. Leslie
She's
says
laying
you're-
down
you're-
again.
Yeah, she's there. She's still there, but yeah, can't quite see her.
Mountain Girls. The Australian cattle dog is also referred to as an Australian healer. Highly intelligent.
Cool.
Okay.
They're cool dogs. They really are.
Yeah, married to. I nearly said that, and I thought people might not care if I didn't say it. But yeah, she's married to Cameron Crowe.
Really?
Yeah, and she did the music. She did the soundtrack for Almost Famous, the incidental music.
I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah, I love that film so much. If you haven't seen Almost Famous, anyone in the chat, if you haven't seen Almost Famous, then go see it as soon as you can.
It's
It's
great.
the best music-related film, I think. Love it.
Yep.
Huh.
And I'm not just saying that because I had loads of cider.
If the Rolling Stones can still tour, anything's possible.
Yeah, and they're
But they can still do it, can't they? I think their songs might be a little bit slower, but they can still put their show on, can't they? So,
Mick
and I
Jagger's
think
50 years old,
Keith
right?
Richards is 462 years old, isn't he? So
Oh, I think
he's
we're
one of the undead.
caught up. And Wilson loves meatloaf, hence the way. Oh,
Well, that's the trouble. People were saying that kind of thing all the time, and she was faced with that kind of thing. Sad, really.
She was, and
She was one of my childhood crushes. She was Ann Wilson. I had quite a lot of them though.
I think Nancy was one of my childhood crushes. But we're actually going to I think now my wife's we're not actually big concert goers, but now we went to this other concert. Now my wife's got the bug, so we had another family asked us we're going to be seeing Bryan Adams in the spring. Because my wife loves him too, or so curious to see
When I was at school, I used to get called Brian because I looked like Bryan Adams when I was young. When I was like in school,
that's cool.
I don't quite look the same anymore. But yeah, I was a big fan. The album Reckless is a masterpiece. I think it's an incredible album. But he had to rest through exhaustion after doing that album. It really took a lot out of him.
Huh.
He had to take
Isn't
time off.
Bryan Adams?
Say again?
Isn't Bryan Adams Canadian?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's right.
Is that a bad thing, Scott?
No, not at all. And not well. You talk to Sean D. Standfast, and he said he doesn't like Canadian science fiction writers, but but
yeah,
no.
I won't read anything from anyone from Cornwall. No.
Oh,
No.
brother. Hey, you got to perk up. Hey, you want to have some cake? Should we give Olive some of her?
That's okay.
Yeah.
You want to have a little bit of your birthday cake? Oh, look at you. See her? I don't know if you can see her. I said birthday cake. You see, she started like. All right, well, let's
Dave, I thought you were about to say that you were going to come to see my New Year's Eve gig. I thought that's what you were leading to. I thought I was well excited. You go, we're going to go to a gig. We're going to go over to England and see Gareth's band on New Year's Eve. That would have been awesome.
All right. You got a big gig coming on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, so we got one on the 15th, and then we've got this one on New Year's Eve, and it's like the guy wants us to start at 8:30 and finish at 1, which is a long gig, and that's about 45 songs.
Start at what time?
8:30, and finish at 1 in the morning.
Wow, that is long.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
4.5
it's well paid, but I'm going to say to him, we need to start at 9 and finish about 12:15. So we'll go through, we'll do Old Lang Syne and all that, but we ain't going to play till 1 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous because people want to leave after that anyway. You know, and we've done New Year's Eve gigs before, and that's usually it's a nice time to finish. So you do Old Lang Syne and do a couple of songs after that, and then night, it's done then because you've already played 3 sets for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean?
Goodness, that is a long show.
It's a long show.
You're gonna have to sit up if you want some of this cake.
Oh yeah,
But all that money that I get for that night will go to my trip to New Orleans.
Wait, when are you going to New Orleans?
July the 15th.
Really?
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Is that here you go. Go ahead.
I'm hoping Bemis can come this way one day.
Yeah, so am I. It'd be awesome. We're hoping to, because me and Richie are going over together to New Orleans. We're hoping to play an open mic night or something. So it'll be nice to say that Bemis have played in America. We've played in Thailand. We had a 5-week gig in Thailand in 2007.
Wow.
That was amazing. Yeah. It was literally the dream job. I mean, they gave us so much money and they paid for our tickets and they gave us free food and drink for the whole 5 weeks. And the only thing we had to worry about was getting to the beach club that we were playing at 7 o'clock. All the rest of the thing was our start time, whatever. We played 4-hour sets every night.
That is awesome.
It was amazing.
That's really cool.
What's the main impetus for going to New Orleans?
The music, probably. Yeah, the music. Like home of jazz, and it's supposed to be like all sorts of music seeping through the walls, coming out of every kind of pub that's there. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
So it's mainly a vacation for you guys.
Oh yeah. It's we're going for 9 days.
Okay.
And literally we're leaving 3 days after I break up from work. So my college year's over, and that's it. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm at the airport.
It's just the two of you?
Yeah, just me and Richie. Yeah.
Okay.
Richie seems like an incredibly nice human being.
Yeah, he's lovely. Yeah, he's really lovely. Yeah. It's funny because when we do gigs, people want, because he doesn't. There was a little period where he left the band for a couple of years. When he came back, people just like they wanted to see him play guitar and they love his voice, but they just wanted to see him. He's such a lovely guy that they were just pleased to sort of have this sort of really gentle, lovely man in the company as well. So yeah, he's a lovely man. He's the closest thing I've got to a brother, really.
Yeah.
We've been playing music together for 30 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell it. I mean, you two are like, he's like an extension of you, and you're like an extension of him, and it's like everything just flows perfectly.
Yeah. When we first started, people nicknamed us the Simon and Garfunkel of Portsmouth.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll take that.
You've actually been together a lot longer than Simon and Garfunkel were together.
Yeah. Yeah, and we liked each other. They didn't like each other, did they? Yeah. But there was a lot of jealousy in Simon and Garfunkel, wasn't there?
Yeah.
We don't seem to get that.
Unfortunately, because they were talented, but they were better together than they've ever been apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a shame in it.
What do you mean when you say there's a lot of jealousy?
Well, the story is that Art didn't like the fact that Paul Simon wrote all the songs, and Paul Simon didn't like the fact that Art kept getting praised for his voice, and Paul was going, "Yeah, but it's my song," and it was all a bit like that. So it always rubbed them up the wrong way. The fact that the other person was getting praise, and it's like they needed to just relax and just enjoy the fact they were great together, didn't they? But
but they both had egos.
Yeah,
that's where it goes wrong.
Absolutely.
That sucks.
All right, no more cake for you. You see that?
Yeah, Olive's going mental. Look at that.
She went a little too nuts on the cake. You ate it too fast. Okay. All right. Come on.
Uh-oh.
fast, sweetie.
She
All
is
right.
cute.
We'll keep her off screen. Yeah, you ate it too fast,
Still
sweetie.
going to kick off at Dave's house.
She is so food motivated that she does this sometimes. Like if she's so excited about what she's eating, she just like goes too fast, and then she ends up like hyperventilating afterwards. And sometimes we'll throw up, and she's like, she goes nuts with it.
I think we've all done that though, Dave.
All right, that's
Give me
not
some apple crumble, and that could happen to me.
not a good performance for your birthday live stream, Olive.
Link, the older he's gotten more and more food motivated. He bites your fingers with treats and stuff now. And I think part of it is because he's going blind, but that's not all of it. I mean, he just goes too fast sometimes.
You done?
Right,
Actually, hold on. Just give me 1 sec. All right. You okay now? You okay? All right. You just relax. Just settle down. All right. On that note, what's everybody reading?
Yeah, that's a great one. Gareth, what are you reading right now?
Well, I've just finished this, which ended up being disappointing. So it's mental and it's very gross, but actually that novelty wears off a little bit, and I wasn't that fussed in the end. So massive Cronenberg fan, but not massively fussed. I'm still reading this, which I haven't finished yet. It's a short story book. It's really good, but I keep picking up other things, so that's good. So I'm reading that, but I've just started this, which is a book about handmade films.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's the film company that made Life of Brian and Time Bandits and Fish Called Wanda, stuff like that. So kind of Python related films, some of them. But this is a film about the film company. Sorry, a book about the film company. And then over the weekend, I think I'm going to start this. So this is a book about the Kings and Queens of England, written by a comedian.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I saw you talk about that one on a video.
Yeah. So that should be good. Yeah, I'm trying to get back onto Historathon, which I haven't done enough with really lately. So trying to do that before December's over. What about you guys?
What about you, Scott?
I just finished. Let me see. I just finished Midnight at the Well of Souls by Jack L. Chalker. Have either one of you read that?
No, but I remember you talking about it. I think you might have said it.
It is so good. I started a little while back, but I finished it today. And Midnight at the Well of Souls is cool. Like you can tell it's definitely a product of its time. It gets some weird gender elements and things going in the story that you can tell that it was written back in the 70s or 80s. I'm not exactly sure when it was written, but it's done in a way more respectful way than you would think it would be way back then. But at the same time, it's just a great science fiction novel. I had a great time with it, and last night I finished Foreigner by C.J. Cherry, and
cool.
Yeah, it ended well. Let's put it that way. It didn't start well. Well, it started well. The first 20% or so was great, like really cool. The crash landed on a planet, and and all the things that happened there. But then it goes into about 60 pages of politics, which are not fun to read about. The way she writes about the politics to me is just not enjoyable. But then every time that there's like I don't know, when something happens, when she's writing about something happening, it's masterful. It's wonderful. And then she'll start writing about politics again for another 60 or 70 pages. And it's just this way all the way through until about the last 25% of the book. Then it's great. It's really good. I gave it 3 stars. It was worth a read. And if somebody likes to read about planet politics and things like that, it's great. But I just started Something Wicked This Way Comes. I got a little tiny bit of that read last night. Yeah, it's funny, Gareth. I'm reading books that were on your favorites list. That last video we did. I don't know, Dark Matter. I read Dark Matter, and I know you love that book.
Yeah.
I'm reading Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm starting Children of Time tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Dave's read all three. Dave's read all three books, haven't you, Dave?
Yeah, I'll be really curious to see what you think about that.
About Children of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about reading Children of Time. I read one of his other books. I can never remember the name, the title, but it's first book of a different series. And I read that. I got an arc of that like a couple months before it came out last year or the year
Shards
before.
of Earth?
Yeah. Yep. Shards of Earth. Yep. Well, I enjoyed that a lot. That was a really good book.
Yeah, that's the next series. That's the next one.
Yeah. But yeah, Children of Time. I don't expect it to take me past about Wednesday to finish that one probably. And
it's quite big, isn't it?
So, yeah, and Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm reading at night, and that book will take me no time. It is a fast read, but because it was what it would be considered. I don't know what it would be considered these days, a middle grade novel or something like that, maybe a little higher than that.
Yeah, I think it's an adult novel. I think it's just he's got a very, the way Ray Bradbury writes, he's got a very pretty way of writing. So I think that makes it seem like it could be for a younger audience. But I just think that's the way he writes. It's definitely an adult.
You're probably right. I love Ray Bradbury. Like almost everything I've read, I've loved. He's got a couple of short stories that were duds, but for the most part, I love his stuff. And I've read a lot of Ray Bradbury. But yeah, for some reason, I've never read this. Well, no, I take that back. I read it when I was very young because when I was reading it last night, I remembered what I was reading, but I don't remember anything past what I read. You know what I mean? It's just all really familiar. So
I think the book works better when you're older. I think
probably so. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm reading, and I'm loving all of it right now. It's really good.
Awesome.
So we got a couple of people mentioning what they're. Oh, well, first Brian's saying, Gareth, my doctor is from Cornwall.
I love Cornwall. It's a very silly comment. I love Cornwall. I apologize to all of Cornwall.
Howard said, didn't Paul Simon write Bridge Over Troubled Water for Art, but Art never thanked him? Something like that.
There is some beef about that song. Yeah. I think it is something like that. Yeah.
All right, so Albert's on a Japan kick now. Just got How High We Go in the Dark and All the Lovers in the Night by Maiko Kawakami.
Awesome. I've seen his books in the shops. I haven't got anything yet. Or was that probably she actually?
That's a she.
Yeah,
I think that's the. I think I read. I think that was her. I read a book. Albert, is she the one that wrote Heaven? I think
she is. I've been reading Hiromi Kawakami, and she's really good. I really, really like her stuff. But it's just a coincidence they got the same surname. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
I think she's really good.
Common surname, I think.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of Japanese novels coming over here getting translated. It's a bit of a trend.
I've been seeing that on like Steve Donahue's channel and a lot of channels, like a lot of Japanese translated works coming over. A lot of them.
Yo, it was funny that Heaven that I read. Like, I mean, I just read it like I don't know, a year or two ago, and it was originally published in like 2011 in Japan, but it took like 10 years later it was translated and on the shelves here.
Yeah, that's happening a lot with Japanese fiction. I think it's just becoming popular and probably a little bit more of a call for it now for Japanese fiction.
Yeah.
So Leslie's Season's Creepings by Ronald Kelly. It's a collection of Christmas horror short stories. That was Leslie. That was almost one of the ones that I picked for my Christmas reads because I read he does. So Ronald Kelly. I don't know if you guys have read any Ronald Kelly, but he does like these seasonal short story collections. And he did 2 for Halloween, and I read them both. One which was this year. One was
Yeah, I remember you talking about him on the channel.
yeah. Mr. Glowbones and Other Stories. That was one I read this year. And so I was thinking about Season Creepings. It's in my queue. But I ended up just with too many Christmas stuff, so that one got cut. But yeah, I'll be curious to see how that is, Leslie, because that's definitely on my list. I also just purchased John Wyndham books, which I am anxious to get to.
Hey.
Somebody was going to read, one of you guys was going to read some John Wyndham, right?
Yeah, I've started that event, Winter of Wyndham.
Yeah.
So I'm reading Chucky first. So that's got to be read this month.
Yeah, I'm reading The Kraken Wakes first, and that comes right after Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Brian says, think I'm going to take a proper look at Jorge Luis Borges.
Yeah, Borges. He's a Argentine writer, I believe, or is he Mexican? I can't remember. But yeah, I've been wanting to read him as well.
All right, Bad says, happy birthday, Olive. Enjoy your night. Ordering pizza. Bye, gentlemen. Have a great night. Sleep well, Gareth. Thanks for coming by, Bad. I believe so. What's he referring to?
I can't remember.
Don't know.
I gotta be better about keeping up with these. It's hard to keep up with these when you're like.
Oh yeah, we got a chat as well. It's fair enough. I won't worry about it.
Part of my previous typo. Yeah. So I'm reading back to what we're reading. I'm reading. I try to get in like the theme of the season. So I'm reading like all Christmas stuff.
Cool.
So let me see. What have we read so far? We read this short little book, The Visitor, by Sergio Gomez.
Cool.
I wanted to pick this one up. It was okay. It was very short, and it wasn't a lot to it. It was about it sounded cool. It reminded me a couple because it was it's about it's set on Christmas, and there's like 5 people that are like trapped in a diner, and then there's like a blizzard, really bad blizzard, so they're stuck there for Christmas, and then like another visitor comes along, and Christmas is no longer white; it's now also going to be red, right? And so and it made me think of. I'm like, that sounds like really cool. It made me think of a couple of things. It like made me think of that. Like I had read that thriller, No Exit, which was like similar kind of thing. They were all stuck in a blizzard at a rest stop, and that was really good. I had a great time with that thriller, and made me think of that. No Exit by Taylor Adams. Yeah, that was a good one. I read that one. That was one of those rare books where you probably know, Scott, I'm a pretty slow reader. So it's a rare book where I read it in one weekend, where like I'm like a full-size book, like I'm done in 48 hours. But that was one. I read that like that. It was like so it was really fast moving. I mean, it's not Pulitzer winner or anything, but it was it was good thriller.
Fun. Yeah.
But it also made me sound like that. The old Twilight Zone is one of the classic Twilight Zone movies where they're in the diner, and you could tell from the cover here, right? It's not a spoiler. You could tell from the cover that that's an alien, right? That Twilight Zone where they're all like, there's like 5 of them in a diner, and
yeah.
So it made me think about that. So I'm like, this sounds really cool. It wasn't really much to it. It was okay. It was a little bit of a disappointment. It was fine. But it was a little bit of a disappointment. Well, we were reading. We're going through this as a month. Well, we have the first couple stories out of this. This is by Connie Willis. I don't know if you guys read any of her sci-fi. She's sci-fi.
Yeah,
Doomsday. Yeah. I was just talking to Mark about it earlier because we were going to read To Say Nothing of the Dog together.
Yeah, that's another big one. Nobody ever, at least I don't hear anybody ever talk about Connie Willis. And I think she has won like more major awards for her science fiction than anybody, but you never hear anybody talk about it.
Right. When I did my first time travel video, I put in my top 10 time travel ones or recommended time travel. I talked about Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
great book.
Doomsday book won all kinds of awards. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that one both the Hugo and the Nebula. That one.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was But
Can't
this
go
is
wrong with the
cool.
Black Death.
This is
huge.
she. Oh, sorry. What?
I said it's huge. Doomsday Book is a big book.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But this is like it's not all sci-fi, but it's like I don't know what you'd call it, maybe like speculative, whatever. She loves Christmas, so she put together this book of all like sort of fantastical Christmas stories. So we read the first couple, and they were pretty decent. Like the first one was like it was kind of predictable, but it was a cute little like it's a Christmas Carol type of little magical story, and then the other one was a sci-fi story. I think I just read two. And like I said, we started this one today. Buddy reading this one today with Dia. This is Mr. Dickens and his Carol. I showed this one before.
Yeah.
And that's it. Tomorrow we're going to be reading some Dickens because we're going to start doing I'm hoping to do one tomorrow night. We were going to do some Dickens fireside readings later in the month. So
Cool. And you're choosing some of the Christmas stories, right?
Christmas stories. Yeah, I had no idea he had so many. And I think we're going to start with this one. I had to get the Penguin. I had to get the Penguin volume for this story because this is the story of the goblins who stole a sexton. So this is apparently the story that came before. This was like the story that was like the inspiration for A Christmas Carol that I didn't know about, and I think probably most people don't know about. I certainly never heard of it. But it's sort of instead of three ghosts and a Scrooge, we have some goblins and a gravedigger. But it's the same kind of thing, I think, where the guy gets accosted, and so that was apparently his inspiration. That came like I don't know 7-8 years before A Christmas Carol, and apparently it was kind of a basis for it. So I think that seemed like an appropriate place to start.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. I'll be watching that.
So we'll see. I have no idea how that's going to go. I've never done like a reading like that before. So we'll see. I'm like right now, just trying to figure out like the setting and how it would like look over there. Like,
yeah,
you gotta have a fireplace. Do it by a fireplace.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if I can get. I don't know if it's able to get like an effective shot over there, but we're gonna give it a try. I know at least Scott will watch it.
Yeah.
So we'll have at least one view on that video.
I'll watch from my other device. We can make it around too.
Yeah, Becky will watch.
There you go. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate the support, Becky.
I better again.
Oh gosh. So when is you said you're about to film a video, Scott? When's that going to go up?
That it'll go up either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay.
It depends on the internet because it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 5 hours to upload here. So, yeah, because I'm in the middle of the North Georgia mountains, so there's no telling here how long it's going to take.
Yeah. When I first started, I mean, I had slow internet, and it was like my videos. I still usually do my videos like a half a day beforehand, from when I put them up. I never like put them up like some of you guys like you film it, you have it up in like within an hour. Like I that doesn't work for me, but it used to be in the beginning. It was horrible. I mean, I needed like a full day because some of these videos I would try to upload them. I mean, it would take like 10 hours and then sometimes it would fail and I would have to start again. It was awful.
Yeah, that happened to us a lot. And if we can't upload from home, it's actually faster for us to leave home, go to town, and use cellular service to upload than it is to use our internet from home.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Still that way?
Yeah. From our house, we're at the in-laws' house right now. My in-laws' house right now.
Oh, okay.
And it won't be as bad here, but it's still kind of slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, our internet is awful.
Yeah.
The one I did on Farscape, it took days. I had to keep doing it. I had to keep redoing it. I did it about 6 or 7 times. It was driving me nuts. So, yeah, I'll never forget that one because it was so annoying. Everything kept going wrong. So yeah, it is annoying, isn't it, when they take ages to do.
This is actually going to be the first video I've ever tried to do editing on. I'm going to add like book covers and stuff to the video.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm going to try. Yeah, it'll be my first attempt.
Yeah.
Once you get into the routine of doing it, you can do that quite quick.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to record it from the Mac here. So hopefully that'll help some. That way I don't have to, try to put little tiny pictures on my phone and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. We got Albert. I believe Michael wrote that Heaven book. Yeah. That was
Oh,
that was a rough book. That was like anybody. I don't think that was that popular. You guys didn't read that one, did you?
No,
I
I
read
have
that.
Yeah. That was like it was about two kids that like they pretty abused kids like socially, and they end up having this like weird establishing this weird connection. That was like the book, but there was like some brutal bullying in that book. It was
Okay.
Okay.
Seasons Creepings is really good. Okay. Yeah, I liked his other two. He's pretty good. Again, like not a Pulitzer winning, but they're well written, entertaining, seasonal stories. Like very much in the mood. Like some of these books, especially like Halloween. Like every October, I've been doing this for a few years now. I only read Halloween themed books. There's a lot of books that are like Halloween, and they're not at all Halloween. They're just like of the season, but they don't like really have anything to do with Halloween, or like somebody mentions the word Halloween and they call it Halloween,
Yeah.
But Ronald Kelly stuff really is very, very much for the holiday. Well, I'm quite late, but happy birthday, Olive. Thanks, Talia. She's resting now over there. Her traumatic Panama Scapori, who was from Argentina.
We're back in a minute. I need to go to the loo.
Okay. His Name of the Rose is one of my favorite novels. Horace was a huge inspiration. Just browsing through his stuff looks promising to me. The Name of the Rose. I believe I don't know if it's the same thing. Probably there was a movie.
There
The
was
Name of the Rose a long time
Sean
ago.
Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's based on that book. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I've never read the book. I need to because I love mysteries, which is kind of a mystery, and I know it's got a lot of historical stuff in it, and so Umberto Eco is, that's very famous book he wrote. That and Foucault's Pendulum, and I haven't read either one, and I need to do that.
Yeah. I only saw the movie, and I don't remember all that much of it. It was a long time ago. I
don't think I've ever even seen the movie.
Yeah.
It came out in the 80s, I believe, didn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a few decades ago.
Yeah. Definitely was.
Talia, she looks like she partied hard. She did, Talia. You missed it. She we gave her a little piece of birthday cake, and it didn't go down too well, so it was a little bit of a traumatic. I'm like dreading now going back and watching that part of the video and seeing how much that was caught on camera. That wasn't pretty. Right? You're just resting now.
So
it doesn't matter. Should we? Yeah, go
how
ahead.
big is she? How much does she weigh?
More than she should. Right now, I think she's about I don't know, 17, 18 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
But she should be like 14.
Oh, okay.
And so for her size, that's a lot of extra weight. You know what I mean? So she's.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she's very food motivated. Right?
Yeah.
Are you okay? She looks like she's still recovering. She's exhausted from that.
She is cute though. What is she like what breed is she? I don't even know.
She's a Maltipoo. So she's half Her mom down the street was a Maltese, and then they got a poodle. And she's bigger than her mother is like only like 8 pounds, I think. and the father was apparently smaller, like 6 pounds, so like very small, like a miniature
Wow.
poodle, you know. So she's, I mean, even if she were trim, she would be way bigger than both of them, you know. Even if she were like, you know,
That's
athletic build, she would still be like, I think like 13, 14 pounds at her skinniest, you know.
that's
So,
interesting how the genes work.
yeah, yeah, it
Very
is.
interesting.
I guess she had a, I guess she had a bigger grandparent somewhere along the way.
Mhm.
So Talia's definitely going to check out the replay to watch all of Seven Her Traumatic Experience. Leslie, Ronald Kelly does his own illustrations too. Is
Ah,
that
cool.
right? I might have known that and forgot. I don't know. Okay. Did you read, Leslie? Did you read his Halloween? Any of his Halloween stuff? Because I really, I had a good time with those.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, those are pretty good. All right. What? Oh, okay. So moving on to moving on from books to TV. I meant to tell you, Gareth. Did you finally watch Dave Made a Maze?
Oh, I forgot all about it.
Yeah,
And that was
right.
a massive topic of
You made me
conversation,
go
wasn't
watch it. After you described, so listen, what
it? I
happened
mean,
after you described it. I was like, that sounds pretty wicked. I got to go try that out. So for anybody
is it
watching,
good?
yeah. So what happened was I started watching it, and it was late. Sometimes I do this lately with stuff because I'm old and I got to get up at, you know, just before 6 on weekdays for get my daughter ready for school and stuff. So sometimes I'll watch half one day and then I'll watch half the next day. And so I went to watch it, and I watched the first half, and it was, I don't even know what to say. I'm only halfway through, so I don't know how to characterize it. It's not bad, but I don't know if I could say good either. It's just it's wild, right? It's 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 bizarre. And
Yeah, okay.
so I was
I'm going to
gonna
try and
watch
see it. Go
the
on.
second half the next day, and I was my younger daughter. It was She's not little either. She's 17, but she's the one that's like most like me and likes like when she was younger. Less of this now, but when she was younger, she was all into like superheroes and Legos and all that kind of stuff. We like a lot of the same things historically. And so I'm describing the movie to her, and she was like, I totally watch that. That sounds really cool. So I put it on hold. I didn't watch it. I'm going to restart it now with her as soon as she has
Ah,
time, and I'm going to watch the whole thing through together. But yeah, it's
okay.
pretty cool. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know, this is Gareth was talking about this movie he was going to watch. It's called Dave Makes a Maze, and it's his, I don't remember if it was his wife or his fiance or whatever. She comes home. She was gone from like a business trip, like a long weekend or something. And she comes home after like 3 days. This is right in the beginning. She comes home after like 3 days, and he has built like a cardboard fort in his living room. And she's like, what's going on? And he's actually been in there for days. And he's lost in there. He can't get out. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say anything else beyond that. But it's like such an original premise. And you
The
end up with
trailer's
this
amazing. Just
whole
watch the
cast of
trailer.
characters. What?
The trailer's amazing. So, you know, that made me want to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty interesting.
I'm going to try and watch it this weekend. I should be able to, I've got loads of time this weekend. I should be able to watch it. Dave Made a Maze.
Yeah, that was good.
I will have to look that up. I have no idea.
Is it an American film?
I think it's got to be because they're all nobody's got
They've all,
accents. Or, I mean,
they've all got
it
American accents.
yeah, it seemed. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it seems like an American film. It's
Yeah. I was just curious. I mean, I thought it was an American film.
yeah,
I just think Dave is there's a lot of Daves in England. Don't know if that's
oh,
if it
okay,
was an English film, but there's clearly a lot of Daves in America as well.
yeah, obviously. Yeah, I had never heard
Great
of that
name.
movie until you mentioned it, but this is a pretty interesting one.
I
I
don't
like
remember why
those.
it came up.
I like those sort of like just I don't know. I don't know if surreal is the right word, but those sort of
Absurdist.
Absurdist, I guess
Right.
that's the right word.
Yeah.
Those like that that movie. Like I would categorize that as the same style as that movie. You ever see Being John Malkovich?
I love that film so much. I
Yeah,
love it
right.
so much.
Yeah,
I
great,
absolutely
great.
love it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like I
Yeah,
would put that like in the same bin, right? Like it's the same. I guess you would call it absurdist, right? It's like the same
I
style
love it
of
so
yeah.
much. Yeah. No, it just makes me smile just thinking about it. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Just to
You ever
watch
see that
it.
one, Scott?
Yeah, a long time ago. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it in years though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
And
I
I've seen it many times. I've seen it
I'm
about 6
originally
times.
sorry.
I've seen John Malkovich about 6 times.
Yeah, it's probably due
Yeah.
for another rewatch for me. It's been a while. And I'm originally from New Jersey, so I remember, but maybe it didn't
Yeah,
make
the
an
New Jersey
impression on me. But
Turnpike, isn't it?
New Jersey Turnpike, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I drove. I have like I can't even tell you how many times. I mean, thousands probably that I've driven on the New Jersey Turnpike. So I had like special special significance that movie, you know.
They just land there, don't they? When they go out of his head, they just land there. Do you remember the scene? Do you remember the scene when he's trying to get the chimpanzee to help him? No. Cameron Diaz's character is trying to get the chimpanzee to untie her because John Cusack's tied her up, and she's tied up with the chimpanzee, and she's saying, "Untie me, untie me," and it goes to this mad flashback for the chimpanzee where it's like he has this trauma as a child. And he's trying to figure out whether or not he's going to untie her or not. And he's just going through this thing that happened with his mum. And it's just like a really weird bit. And then he comes back. And then he's like, I'll untie you. It's just amazing. It's just like ridiculous things like that.
It's clearly been too long. I like you as you're talking about it. Very, very vague recollection.
And he watches the orientation video. And in that orientation video, you got that just sort of bizarre scene where the woman says something like, I've always been unhappy because I'm really short. And then he just says, your stories really moved me. Please be my wife. It's so brilliant.
I think I know what
So
I'll be
brilliant.
watching this weekend.
Yeah.
So Leslie has
that was that one of the films John Cusack produced as well?
I don't know.
He's got a production company, isn't he? I mean, Spike Jonze directed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but because he also he definitely produced the oh god, what's it called? The one about when he goes back, he's a hitman. He goes back to a school reunion. Grand something. It's such a brilliant film. John Cusack, and he goes back to school.
Gross Point Blank.
Yeah, Gross Point Blank. Point Blank. Amazing film. Yeah, and he produced that.
Yeah, Minnie Driver is in it.
Yeah, Minnie Driver.
Yeah.
And that guy. Oh God, his mate is really funny in it as well. He was in Ellen's series as well.
Do not remember.
Jeremy Piven.
Oh, Jeremy Piven. Okay.
Yeah, he's really funny in that. Have you seen that, Dave? Gross Point Blank.
I recognize the name, but I don't know that I've seen it.
Probably mid-90s.
Yeah, it's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But amazing film. Absolutely amazing. I quite like quirky films. I think the films are a little bit different and a little bit kind of got a character to them.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I know you like absurdist films. Do you like surrealist films as well? Well, if you like Brazil and stuff, you probably
yeah.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen
Brazil.
That. It's on my list of. I haven't seen it yet.
For years, I used to say that was my favorite film. I don't think I'd say it now, but for years I said Brazil was my favorite. I love it so much. Brilliant film.
Yeah. It's great. So strange, so weird, and just fun. I mean, fun to watch. It's strange, and it's hard to call it. It's hard to call it disturbing because you're not sure what's going on half the time. But still,
Well, it's Gilliam's version of 1984, isn't it? So it's kind of like a sort of got fantasy elements to it.
Yeah.
But it's based on a 1984 kind of setup. But amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I'm a big Terry Gilliam fan. I was going to do a video on Terry Gilliam.
He's great too.
Yeah.
Dave, you know Andrei Tarkovsky, Russian director who did like Solaris and Stalker.
Yeah,
And,
he's stalking.
yeah, very.
Oh, the roadside picnic movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't see the movie. I read the book, but I didn't see the movie.
What do you think about the book?
Honestly, I just say I don't know if Brian's still here. Bye, Brian. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, Brian.
I didn't really like the book that much.
Okay.
I know that's like not a popular opinion, but I'm trying to remember. I know I had issues with it. I'm trying to remember what they were. One of my issues I remember was that I did not like the change.
Okay.
There was hard changes in narrative voice in that book. I think it was like 4 parts, and like the POV, from what I recall, changed significantly
Mm.
as you went through those parts, which I didn't like. And I also felt like I didn't really it's all coming back to me now as I'm thinking about it. I also felt like I didn't really get the end of it. Like it almost seemed to be
It's very hard to get the end. I think it's really written in quite a weird way. You have to keep reading it. You go, what? I just have to read it again. I think I read it about those last few pages. I read it about 3 times before I put it down.
I finished that book and I felt like I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that this is like a socioeconomic commentary on capitalism, but I don't know what the message is. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's trying. That's what it is, but I don't know what it's trying to say. Like I don't know.
I don't think the message is very clear either.
Yeah, it seemed
But
to
I
be.
did like the book though.
You know that
You did like it.
I liked it, but I don't think it's. I think I liked it despite the way it was written, if you like, because I think it was quite almost. I don't know. It's like in one hand, it's a bit matter of fact the way it was written, but also there were attempts to be poetic that were a little bit weird. That kind of took you out of it. So, but I like the concept and I like what happens in it, and I think that made me get through it. But I know what you mean, and like the ending is really hard to decipher. And then you read it again and go, "Oh, okay, I get it."
You read it, Scott?
No, I haven't read Roadside Picnic. That happens to me a lot, though. I'm reading a book and I'm like, I know there's a message here, but I don't quite get it. That happened today with Midnight at the Well of Souls by Jack L. Chalker. That happened to me a lot during that book. I'm like, I know there's a message here that he's trying to give me. I don't understand it, and I'm not sure I really want to because I doubt I would agree with him. So, yeah, especially the weird stuff at the end. Like there was a woman in there who wished she was a man. So at the end, he changed her into a man so she could have a relationship with this woman and stuff like that. And it was very strange, and I don't think I liked what he was doing for the most part. But I'm not sure that I was even reading it correctly. So maybe not.
Yeah, I mean I feel like I don't know, maybe I should reread it again in a couple years. Definitely not now, but I feel like I missed something with that. And there's so much history behind that book too. Like I think they had a lot of trouble getting that book published, from what I recall. They originally had to publish it. There's a lot of censorship over there at the time, and they had to publish it in like some ridiculously altered form. And they had to fight for years, and it wasn't until many years later that they actually got to produce in the form that they wanted. And so, like I feel, I don't know. I feel like I didn't fully appreciate it for what it was. Like, it feels like it's more of a hefty work that I just maybe didn't fully grasp. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't like the film Stalker.
No,
No, I didn't. I liked the book, but I thought the film was incredibly boring.
really. So it was a lot different than the book.
Well, yeah, because the book, the film does try and create the setting and the kind of visuals of the book. It does it quite well, but oh my god, it's like watching a painting for 2 hours.
Yeah, he doesn't give you much. Tarkovsky never gives you anything to grab onto. It's like you think you're getting a point, and then and then it's gone. It's like not only is he not holding your hand, he's not giving you anything, and you have to be up for a visual movie that isn't really giving you any clues at times. I mean, Solaris was much easier to understand, at least, but even that was opaque half the time.
Yeah, I need to read Solaris. I haven't read that yet.
I have the book, like so many books, haven't read it yet, and I have not seen the movie, so I need to do both. Because
Solaris, you have to be careful which one you read, because one of them is actually translated from the French, and it's completely the wrong one to read. It's not. It is not well translated at all. It's almost translated word for word, but from the French, and so it doesn't give you the right. It's just not even the right story.
Wait, so what's the original language?
Russian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was right. Okay.
Yeah, so you want to get the one that's like translated in 2003 or 2007, somewhere around there. It's
okay,
actually translated from Russian.
I'm glad you told me that. I probably have. So it wasn't like that's when the first proper translation came out, like 2003, 2007.
Proper translation.
Okay, so I probably have a bad translation then. So I'm glad you told me that.
I got mine on my Kindle. You can buy it on Kindle with the proper translation, and I believe they just came out with a paperback not long ago with that translation. But for a long time, it was either audiobook or Kindle. Otherwise, you couldn't get it anywhere else. You couldn't find it anywhere else.
Okay,
so
that's good to know.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't know. Should we? It's getting way past Gareth's bedtime here.
I'm all right. Have we had any more comments? Have they slowed down?
I think we're all caught up. It looks like
have we still got people watching?
we do. I mean, it looks like it's tapered off. We got 6 people watching. So I actually expected this to be a lot shorter than this. I did not. We've been going almost 2 hours. I didn't mean to do that. So
it's always fun, though. I enjoy the hell out of this.
Yeah, this is a good time. Yeah, this is
and I want to do some stuff for our channel too, including movies. And
well, I'm going to do that live stream for like a Desert Island Movies kind of thing. I've talked about it loads, and I'm going to do that next year. So if you two are up for being guests,
always.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, and and then on our channel, we're going to do a thing about horror movies and why we are in a golden age of horror. Because I have a friend who wants to join for that, and she's kind of an expert on modern horror. So
there's loads of indie horror being made now, isn't there? So there's a big resurgence of it.
There's so much good stuff coming out these days. Like it's still really, really good. So yeah.
Right. It might be because I mean we can talk about it on the thing, but it might be because almost like a response to all the event films. It's like we've had this period where it's been all about Jurassic Park and Marvel and Star Wars and all that sort of stuff. And maybe there's all these independent movie makers that are like, well, I want to do my thing. I don't want to do. I think cinema should be about the alternative as well, and that's driving people to make indie films.
Yeah, and I think studios like A24 are doing a great job with that kind of stuff, allowing these independent filmmakers to
Yeah.
to make the film that they want to make. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that another comment?
No. That was an old one. I was just making sure we had caught up. So I don't want to log off before we got to everybody. So I think we did a reasonably good job of keeping up with them, right? I mean,
Yeah. I think if you're literally just reading the comments, we don't end up chatting. So it's always a balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always,
Let's stop. You want everybody else to be part of the conversation too. So it's it's
true.
it's always tough.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, for whoever's left, thanks for coming out. Right? Are you okay now? Are you okay? Okay. All right. Let's say thanks to everybody for coming out.
Happy birthday, Ollie.
Yeah, happy birthday. She's
thanks
a good
to for whoever's left. Thanks to everybody for coming out for Allah's birthday, and thank you guys for co-hosting. This is a good time as always. So
It was
brilliant.
great.
all right, let me. Here we go. As we go, you do the countdown, right? 3, 2, 1. Hold on.